Good morning, friends. Thank you for joining me today for our Ready, Set, School story time. My name is Miss Irene, and we are going to be learning about another letter of the alphabet today. We've gone through a lot of letters so far, and we're going to learn a new one. We're learning about the letter I today, which is a very special letter for me because it's the first letter in my name, which is exciting. Do any of your names start with I? Or do you know anybody whose name starts with I? Maybe your name is Ian or Isaac or Isabella. All of those names start with I, which is pretty exciting. Just like Irene. All right, friends, let's start with our classroom calendar first, and then we will learn about our letter. Sound good? All right. So we are going to start with the month like we always do. It is still the month of April, and our year is 2021 or 2021, which is a big number. Let's see, the date today is all the way down here, so many numbers, the 30th of April. It's the last day of April. That's pretty exciting. The season, we talked about this, it is spring. That means there's flowers blooming and the trees have the leaves and it's green and beautiful. Outside, I love spring. It's so nice. It's spring right now, and the day today starts with an F, Friday. And the day yesterday was Thursday, and tomorrow is Saturday. Awesome. Nice job, everyone. So today, I told you the letter we're going to learn about is I. So let's go through the ones we've done so far here. This is our entire alphabet. And we're going to go through the ones we've learned. So we did A, like apple, B, like bat, C, like cat, D, like dog, E, like this boy's name is Ed, or like egg, like the things you might have for breakfast, F, like fish, G, like goat, H, like house, or I, like iguana, or Irene, Miss Irene. So today we're going to learn about the letter I. Let's put this up here. So I'm going to show you how to write your capital I and your lowercase I. All right? So our capital I is one long line and two small lines across it. And then your little I, or your lowercase I, is just one line and then a dot on the top. How cute those are. I like it. And my name is Irene. I-R-E-N-E, which we learned the letter E, and we learned the letter E, and we learned the letter I. We just have two more letters to learn until my name is complete. I wonder how many letters we've learned in your name. That's pretty exciting. Maybe you can go over this with your parents or grandparents or adult or older sibling, and they can show you the different letters that we've learned so far in your name, all the way through I. That's pretty exciting. All right, friends, so today I have a really fun story for you today. This is a big one. It's a nonfiction book, which means it's real. It's about real life. And this one is called In the Garden. And the word that starts with I in this one is in. See that? It looks just like our capital I there. So this is a special word because it tells us where something is. So we are in the garden, and we're going to learn all about the garden in this really pretty book. It's so beautiful. There's so many pictures and words. So if you want to look at this one, you can check it out too, and it's so pretty. You can learn all about gardens. Look at this gorgeous flower here. In the garden. I'm just going to read this big part for you, and if you want to check it out, you can read all these little pieces. But this is such a fun book because it's got these flaps with flower pictures underneath and this little bird getting the worms out of the ground. It's very exciting. There's lots of different things to explore in these books. They're super fun. Winter's End. This morning it's cold. It's not yet spring, but in the garden, Plum and her brother Robin see the first catkins appear on the branches of the willows and hazels. The blossoming mimosa makes the gardeners impatient for spring to come. almost spring, but not quite yet in this book. The arrival of spring. The sun gently warms the earth. Sap rises through the tree trunks to the buds, which open and unfurl new leaves. Daisies carpet the ground and daffodils turn their faces to the sky. It's time to get out the gardening tools. It's spring, just like it is now. Look at this super cool book. You can flip up these pages and it shows you what the bulbs look like when they grow. This is a hyacinth, and this is a daffodil. I love daffodils. And this is a tulip, which I have some tulips and daffodils in my garden. Maybe you can find some flowers around your neighborhood or in your garden at home and see if you can see what any of them are. Maybe they're a hyacinth or a daffodil or a tulip. Those are the good flowers that grow in spring even when it's still a little cold. And look at this. Inside the shed. Remember, in was our word of the day with the letter I. Look at all those tools inside the shed. This is such a fun book. Spring. Now we're in spring. Ready? There's no doubt spring is here. The cherry trees are covered in blossoms. If the soil is warm enough, you can plant beans. Beans are vines or climbing plants. As they grow, their stems wind and curl. Plum and robin have planted stakes deep into the ground. The beans will wrap around them for support as they grow. That's pretty cool. We've got more flaps here inside the flowers. And look, a bean seed. That's pretty cool. It tells you all the parts of it. And we've got one more flap here of how the beans are going to grow. Look at how pretty that is. That's so cool. The beginning of summer. What a joy to be in the garden in June. The gentle breeze, the smell of cut grass, and the tangy taste of strawberries and cherries make the gardener smile. Look at this. Awesome. They're watering their plants here. And we've got all sorts of different plants over here. Ooh, look at this strawberry plant and cherries. That's very exciting. High summer. During the day, the sun is scorching. In the heat, the plants give off their perfume and the fruit ripens. To keep cool, work in the garden early in the morning. That's what they recommend if you're gardening in the summer, high summer. There's so many different things. Different plants and learning about plants. Look at this bean inside a pea pod. Look at that. It's so cool. Fall. It's fall time. You ready? Summer slowly gives way to fall. Day by day, the light softens and the sun sets a little earlier. It's time to harvest squash and plant the bulbs that will bloom next spring. So look at this. Inside the squash, there's a bunch of seeds, and you plant seeds to get plants, right? Flowers and plants. Oh my gosh, and there's a rabbit in the garden. That's so cool. The return of winter. We're back to the beginning. A cold wind blows through the garden. Plum and robin have donned their warmest clothes and gone out to collect the dead leaves. Some leaves will feed the compost. Others will become mulch to protect plants over the winter. The hedgehogs can use the rest of the leaves in making their homes. That's pretty awesome. And there's so many other things you can do in the garden in wintertime. Look at this. It's a hedgehog hiding in the leaves. It's so cute. That is in the garden. And there's so many different facts in here that I didn't have time to read to you today. But if you want to check this book out, just ask for the book In the Garden and we can get it for you or place it on hold so that you can read it yourself. It's super awesome and very lots full of facts for you about gardening and outside. It's really pretty. All right, my friends. So we learned about in the garden, but I want to make a fun craft with you today about a creature that lives in the garden. And this is a butterfly. Butterflies like to hang out by plants. And I'm going to show you how to make a craft that shows you the life cycle of a butterfly. It's really very cool. So we are going to start with just a few supplies. That's all you need. You need a toilet paper roll, which you probably have at home. you need I'm used a piece of craft foam for this, but you can use a bean or a seed or a bead if you have anything. It's just small, like round shape. Works wonderfully. And then we're also going to get a pipe cleaner, and we are going to get I'm going to use some of this green tissue paper, and I'll use some pink too because that's cool colors together. And then we'll need, last but not least, a nice long piece of string. Okay, so we are going to make the life cycle of a butterfly. So we start with our string. You're going to cut out a nice long piece. This one's about maybe 1.5 feet. And we're going to take the bead or the bean or whatever you've got, and you're going to tie that to the end of your string. So this one is the seed, or not the seed, sorry, the egg, because butterflies are living creatures, so they have eggs. So this is the egg of that the butterfly comes from. So we've got the egg. Now we're going to take our pipe cleaner, and if you want, you can get a couple different colors and make a swirly looking caterpillar. I'm going to do that here. So you'll just take the ends and twist them together. And I've got a little swirly striped caterpillar now. That's pretty cool. I'm going to make it just a tiny bit longer. There we go. Then you'll just cut off the ends. You've got your caterpillar. So then we'll take that and we'll tie that onto our string, because it starts as an egg and then goes to a caterpillar. All right, just tying my knot here around the caterpillar. All right, friends, next we are going to attach it to our chrysalis, or our tissue paper holder, or tissue paper roll, which is where the caterpillar goes into the chrysalis, inside the chrysalis, just like we learned in the garden, in the chrysalis, and it transforms in here into a butterfly. So then I'm going to just take a little piece of tape and tape this on the edge here inside. You can see that. And that'll keep it tucked in there. So you start with your egg and then your caterpillar, and then it goes inside the chrysalis. And when it comes out the other side, we will have a butterfly. So I'll show you how to make your butterfly here in just a second. All we need are 2 squares of tissue paper. So I am going to cut out at the same time 2 squares of tissue paper here. All right, we've got green and pink for my butterfly. And then we're going to kind of pinch them together like this. And then we have the wings of our butterfly here. And once you have them pinched, you're going to take your piece of pipe cleaner and wrap that around. But we can tuck in this string before we do that. So I'm going to tuck my string in, pull this up, and then just wrap it around like this, twist it at the top, and then just cut off the extra piece here. So we have some antenna on our butterfly. And then you've got your flying butterfly. And if you want to make it tighter, you can tie this string at the end here too, so it stays on nice and tight. So this is super cool because it's very pretty, but it's also science. It's awesome. So we've got all of our stages we've got here. We'll start from the beginning. I'll show you how to make this cool presentation for your family. So we stick our butterfly in there, because that doesn't emerge till the end. So we start with an egg, and then it turns into, hatches a caterpillar. And then our caterpillar makes its way and builds the chrysalis by eating leaves and getting all nice and plump and ready to turn into a butterfly. Flies around. That's pretty exciting. Inside the chrysalis is where the magic happens. Just like in the garden. We learned the letter I today. Awesome, friends. I am so glad you joined me today for our story time. This was super fun. I had a great time. I hope you enjoyed it as well. We will have a tracing sheet so you can practice your letter I, big and little, on our website at eaglepubliclibrary.org. There's the class and resources tab at the top, and then just click on class resources and it will take you to the blog post, and you'll have the latest blog post this morning for our tracing page. You can print that out. You can email us to print it for you, or you can print it at home, and we will get you that page. So I hope you had fun learning about all the fun letters. We just learned about the letter I today. Next week we're going to be learning about another letter, but I'll save that for next time. All right, friends, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.